मैम ये वाला हो गया है, ये भी हो गया है. What are the
Good evening, sir.
characteristics of good evening? What are the characteristics of management? What are the important features? What are the characteristic features of management? So, management is always a goal oriented. Okay, management is you can say it a principal activities which are required for all type of organizations, that is business, hospital, NGOs, and many more. Hence, it is universal. This is one of the another important characteristic features of management. Then the third one is multidimensional. Multidimensional means such as it deals with the work, it deals with the people, it deals with the operations, it deals with the finance, it deals with the communications. Okay, there's customers. That is why it is said to be multidimensional. It is very dynamic. It's not static, it's a dynamic. Why? Because it's constantly changing the social and political environment as well as economic also. That is why it is very dynamic. Okay? It's continuously changing itself in economic, political, as well as social environment. The next one is it is intangible. What does it mean? Means it is cannot be physically seen, but it has its effectiveness. It cannot be physically seen. I have already explained you in my day after yesterday's class when the first session was going on that it is intangible force. It cannot be seen. It can only be felt. How? When you can see the growth and success of any organizations, then only you can feel the management is strong, isn't it? This is the best example of it. If you see any organization is growing, if you can see if the organization is having a success, okay, then the management is excellent, isn't it? So जैसे संगत वैसे रंगत, हिंदी में कहावत है, जैसे संगत वैसे रंगत है. तो कहा जाता है अगर मैं इसे अपने कुछ फैमिलीज से जोड़ूं तो कैसा होगा? मैनेजमेंट को फैमिली से जोड़ूं. देखिए बहुत सारे जो स्टूडेंट्स होते हैं, बच्चे होते हैं, दे आर वेरी वेल डिसिप्लिन, they are very punctual, they are very dedicated toward their studies and all, and they are very sanskaris. So what does it mean? From watching all this, you can assume that the environment of the family environment of that particular student's home is excellent in management. Why? Because you can see that, you can feel and you can see the growth of the students. The same way, if you can feel the growth of any organizations, if you can feel the success of any organizations, then always remember the management is very strong. Okay, that is why it is called as intangible force. Next, it is also comes under very group activities. What does it mean by the group activities? Means always there must be a very good coordinations, because the effort of coordinations can only lead to the success. Okay, without proper communications, without proper coordinations, you cannot get the effective result. Hence, to get effective result, desired result, goal-oriented result, you need to have a very group activities. Means teamwork is very much important. In another word, group activity means the teamwork is very important. Okay, every team has to perform from lower level to upper level, from middle level, lower level, upper level. 3 levels of management are there. I have already discussed you. So every level has to work, has to perform, have to show their skill. Then only the management will grow. The next, it is, I think the point has been same repeated here in the particular slide. It is a continuous process. I have already discussed that management, in which includes planning, organizing, directing and controlling, are all continuous process, because if any of those processes once stopped, then the growth of the management will going to stop. Hence, it should be performed consistently. Then only you can see the result. So overall, these are the important characteristic features of a management. Number one is goal oriented. Number two is universal. Number two is three is multidimensional. Number four is dynamic, intangible force, group activities, and the last but not the least is it is a continuous process. Ma'am, please go to the next slide. Is it clear to you, everyone?
Yes, sir.
And the same points, now the same functions of the management has been described. Number one is planning. What do you mean by planning? Planning means what to do, when to do, and how to do. And who will do it in advance. This all comes under planning. Okay? Always remember, by the people, for the people, and of the people. जैसे constitution, legislative assemblies में ये होता है ना, सेम उसी तरह से management का भी एक planning functions होता है. What to do, when to do, how to do, who will do it. These all you need to do in advance. Then only you can see the success. That is the planning of a management. What are the key points of under this planning? It set the objective for the future. Number one, very very important. It will going to set the objectives of the future. अगर आपका objectives clear नहीं है, अगर आपका goal clear नहीं है, then your future is dark. आप कोई प्लानिंग ही नहीं है आपके कैसे आगे बढ़ना है, किस तरीके से पढ़ना है. आजकल की दौर पे हार्ड वर्क नहीं, हार्ड वर्क के साथ साथ स्किल्ड भी चाहिए. यू नीड टू हैव अ स्किल्ड वर्क. थोड़ा सा दिमाग वाला हार्ड काम करना पड़ेगा. नहीं तो मेहनत तो गधा भी करता है, मेहनत तो किसान भी करता है, लेकिन स्किल ओरिएंटेड नहीं है ना, जिसकी वजह से वहां का वही रह जाता है. यू नीड टू बी स्किल ओरिएंटेड including hard work. So, if you want to see the future, if you want to set the future, you need to make a planning. Planning means कैसे करना है, किस तरीके से करना है, कब करना है, क्यों करना है, किसके माध्यम से करना है. What to do, when to do, how to do, who will do in advance. These all are the plannings we have to do in our life also. The same thing. It's all completely, management doesn't exist only in one organizations. It doesn't exist to hospitality organizations, any office areas and all. It's completely in our continuous life, in our life process. If we want to grow ourselves, if we want to see ourselves success in our life, then we need to follow all these things. We need to have the management skill, managerial skill. These are the managerial skill you have to follow. कल जैसे मैंने एग्जाम्पल दिया है, the same, वो स्किल है. कैसे, कब, कहां, क्यों, कैसे मुझे बिहेव करना है. स्विच ऑफ, स्विच ऑन. जिसको स्विच ऑफ और स्विच ऑन का पता है, कब स्विच ऑफ करना है, कब स्विच ऑन करना है, मैनेजमेंट उसके लिए पानी जैसा है. वो कहीं भी जाके कैसे भी परिस्थिति में सेट करके वो सेटअप कर लेते हैं. यू फर्स्ट यू नो टू हाउ टू स्विच ऑन, हाउ टू स्विच ऑफ, कहां स्विच ऑन, कहां स्विच ऑफ करना है. दिस इज द मेन थिंग. For example, a company planning production target for the next quarter year. ये एक simple सा example है. मैं आपको बेहतर example देता हूँ. For example, planning. What to do the planning? How to do the planning? For example, you are preparing your next semester examinations, maybe internal or external. So from now onwards, you need to make a plan that what to study, how to study, when to study, and how our preparations could be for the upcoming semester examination. This should be the plan that you need to make. And finally, if you make a plan from today onwards, definitely you're going to get the success. Isn't it? So this is important. Next, the next one, ma'am. Organizing. Another one is organizing. What is the meaning of organizing? It is means just to create a simple and formal structure. Okay? To carry out the plan. Again, मैं वो वाला देता हूँ. For example, you are preparing your semester examinations. You plan the semester examinations, what to study, when to study, how to study. Now you need to make a structure of it. Actually में मुझे कौन सा questions पढ़ना है? Question बहुत सारा है. Lot of questions are there. You go on studying all the questions or what? No, you cannot complete it. Then what will I need to study? What to study? Which are the specific areas I need to cover so that I can secure a very good marks? How to script the answers in my answer sheet with proper and prominent example that would going to give me a very good marks. These all are the structured plan. So what is the meaning of organizing? Organizing means you are creating your plan in a very structured way. For example, if I give you the example of Sachin Tendulkar, once in an interview, Sachin was saying that when I was playing Test cricket with an Australia, okay, um, before the one test, Boxing Day test, I was caught behind in square cut and all. So finally, I decided that not if from the next test onwards, I finally decided not to play any shot on the square. So he has made a complete structured plan that whenever the ball comes on the offside, a little bit of higher on my length, I will going to put an drive. I will going to leave, or rather, if it is a good length ball, I will just move it to a forward front leg, or I will just going to make a drive of it. Okay, this was the structured plan done by Sachin Tendulkar before the preparations for playing against Australia. That is why he is such a greatest batsman of all time. That is why he is the god of cricket, not king. King is Kohli, of course, but he is the god of cricket because without playing square cut or drives, he played the test. Can you imagine ever? Lot of lureness by Brad Hawk, lot of lureness had been provided by Adam Gilchrist, not Adam Gilchrist, sorry, Jason Gillespie, the fast bowlers. They all tries 100 times to make out Sachin by playing a wrong shot, but everyone has failed. That is why he has been respected all over the world and he has been gifted with the name God. This is because of this talent. So कैसा हुआ? क्यों मैंने ये एग्जाम्पल दिया, इसके साथ ये रेलिवेंट एग्जाम्पल क्यों फिर गया? क्योंकि सचिन तेंदुलकर ने अपने इंटरव्यू में बताया था, मैंने एक कंप्लीट स्ट्रक्चर और ऑर्गेनाइज्ड प्लान करके मैदान में उतरा था. जब मैं मतलब अपने क्रीज में जा रहा था, मेरा ये सडन प्लान नहीं था, लेकिन मैंने जैसे धीरे धीरे बढ़ना स्टार्ट किया, मैंने अपने माइंड में एक मैप बना लिया कि मुझे ये शॉट्स बिल्कुल नहीं खेलना है, क्योंकि जब भी मैं ये शॉट्स खेलता हूं, कट स्क्वायर व्हाटएवर, I got out. So it find me really very disturbing for me because I am the opening batsman. I have a lot of responsibilities on my shoulders. Okay, I need to play for a longer innings and all, but I couldn't figure it out what the mistakes that I'm doing. So suddenly I make a plan. That plan is a very structured plan, organized plan. What? That I am not going to play any shots square. I will play just the drives and all. Long on drive, long off drive, whatever, the pull, cut, whatever. But I will not going to play the square cut. And without playing any square cut, he scored a century. That's why he is the greatest of all time. This is called the organized structured plan. Am I clear? Isn't it? Now, what are the key points of this? You need to understand. Identification of the activities. मैंने जो एग्जाम्पल दिया इसके साथ देखो, रेट करके देखो. Identification of the activities. Whatever the activities Sachin trying to play or figure it out, he made a plan that within this area, within the circle, I had to play this type of activities. I had to play this type of shot. These are all my activities. Okay, and after that, grouping the activities into department. अगर उससे relate करूं तो वो छोटे छोटे overs को पहले खेल रहे थे. अब उसके बाद धीरे धीरे वो लॉन्ग शॉट की तरफ या लॉन्ग कवर ड्राइव की तरफ खेल रहे थे. ठीक है, तो these are the grouping activities in the department. Next है assigning responsibilities. Whatever the responsibilities that is given over to you, you need to make a structure of that, and according to that, you need to go on. After that, providing resources. Without any resources, you cannot continue. So resources is one of the most important thing. Now, what are the resources for our students, for an MBA? What is that? Your notes, your perceptions, your way of writing, your standard formats of writing. These all are the resources for our students to write a paper. Okay? So, according to that, you need to make a structured, well-defined plan. Then only you come out successful. So, this is the meaning of organizing. Come to the next point. Staffing. What does it mean? Right person for a right job in a right place. जितना रटने के लिए जाओगे ये सब चीजें उतना कॉम्प्लिकेटेड लगेगा. एक एक पॉइंट बता रहा हूं, दिमाग में बिठा लो. स्टाफिंग का मतलब क्या है? राइट पर्सन इन अ राइट प्लेस इन अ राइट जॉब. दैट इज कॉल्ड स्टाफिंग. नाउ हाउ टू डू दिस? दिस rules followed two, three steps. What are the two, three steps? Number one is recruitment and selection. Now, what is the difference between recruitment and selection? If I ask you, there is a difference now. That's why the writer is writing this thing. What is the difference between recruitment and selection? What is the meaning of this? Anyone?
So what I think is recruitment means like in if like multiple resumes have been sent out for openings, so out of them few selections are done based on the ATS. So that is coming as the recruitment. And once the interview is done, then the team lead or the manager will decide which resource has to be selected. So based on their skills, that particular person gets selection. So
Okay, very good.
recruitment this way I understood, sir. Yeah.
Correct.
Hmm.
Recruitment means, first of all, there will be just say RRB examinations, Railway Recruitment Board. What does it mean? Recruitment means you need to give or you need to appear for any examinations, overall examinations. Okay. After that, those who pass out, those who have secured a very good marks, they will going to shortlist those names. After that, it will be divided into number of groups. Group A, those who are within 90% to 95%, they will be going to call first. The group next list will be within 80% to 85 to 80%. Group C, 80%, 75% to 80%. These all are the list. Now, from this particular groups, those who are eligible, more competent, more skilled, oriented, they will going to call for the first. This is the basic difference between recruitment and selection process. Okay, recruitment means a group where they will need to appear for any examinations. Now, from this group, you need to sort out the best one for your company. This is the difference between the recruitment and selection process. Whatever the Nilanjan says, correct. Now, training and development. Another one, through training and development is also the another important selection process. After the getting selected, you need to make your employees a good train. You need to give your employees a good trainings. Okay, and you need to make groom your employees. You need to groom your employees. Development means you need to groom your employees. For example, faculty development program. What does it mean? Faculty development program. Faculties need to be developed. Faculties need to understand what are the new areas and what are the new techniques to make the student understand. Because now chalk and duster have been completely erased from the classrooms and all. Smart board, AI technologies board, okay, MCBs, projectors, presentations, PPTs. These is now this is the era. Now many old faculties are there who doesn't cope up with all these things. What for them management used to arrange the development classes. What the meaning of this? Development means faculty development classes. How to make our attendance in MCB, how to make an attendance in like how to prepare an attendance in Excel sheets and all, how to take classes, okay, how to cover the subjects and all, how to take test online. These all of the many things are there. The development. Okay, now through this development, they will meet up the expectations of the management. What does the management expect? Management expects that my employee should be well trained, well educated, and well skilled. Okay, now if you fail to show up your skill in front of your management, then management, what will management will do? Management will keep you observations paid for 6 months to 1 year. After that, straight. Nowadays, it's no lukachupi and all. If you perform well, stay there. You keep yourself updated. You need to keep yourself updated every day. Every day, every new apps, every new technologies, every new codes are included. Even though you're surprised to know that every day Oxford dictionaries try to find out new words. A very new words been included every day in Oxford dictionary. Okay, Oxford dictionary, Cambridge dictionary, say every day new words are being included in these two dictionaries. Apart from that, nowadays lot of codings, Python, Java, SQLs, lot of programmings are there, and through the programmings, new AI technologies, new apps are being created. Okay, new apps have been created recently. Some students from Arkajan University, I hope You have listened the name of the university, Arkajan University. The students from CSE department, they have developed an AI technologies. Now, what is that AI technology? They develop an app, AI technologies. That if you, the technology is something like that. If you just uh, give your age, if you give your name, age, and if you give your details about the diseases you are suffering from, the AI technologies, the app will going to find out through machine learning, the app will going to find out that what are the generic medicines available in the market. What are the generic medicines available in the market? If you see the Prabhat Khabar on dated 8 9 2020, on the day of Vishkarma Puja, on the day of Vishkarma Puja was celebrated on Wednesday. On Wednesday it was Vishkarma Puja, na? You see on that particular day's newspaper, you find it out that are two scholars from Arkajan University. They find out these technologies. What are the technologies? If you write your name, your age, and what are the problems you are having, what are the diseases you are having, the symptoms, diseases, you write it down, they will find out the generic medicines. Apart from that, they will going to make you the appointment with the doctors also for the prescriptions. No need to call the doctors, no need to go for the doctors. Doctor will give you the prescribed format that yes, this generic medicine is definitely going to work for the symptoms that you have been written in. So this is the app they have been developed. Why? For what they are doing for the poor people, because many such diseases are there where the means the poor people cannot afford to buy those expensive medicines and all. So they always depend on the generic medicines because it is much lower cost as compared to the normal medicines and all. So that is why they have developed this app. Okay, so now why these all are things they are doing? They want to keep themselves updated. Nowadays, if you want to keep in this race, you need to keep yourself updated with lot of things. Otherwise, you will be cut short on any day. If the management feel that my employees, after giving so much effort to my employees, after spending so much of money on my employees, they are not able to show their skills, they are not able to develop their skill, finally what will happen? They will going to make you cut loose from their companies. That is their policies. Everywhere, whether you are in government sector, either in private sectors, everywhere, this principles is being followed right now. Now, performance and appraisal. This is another important thing. Your performance, based on your performance, you are going to get appraisal. You are going to get the promotions. You are going to get your increments based on your performance. So you need to give your performance every day. Every day you need to have. Every day you need to study. Every day you need to learn something new. Then only you can survive in this AI technologies, AI generation world. By the end of 2030, mind it, there will be a loss. There will be a loss of many CSE students will never ever going to cope up with many other companies because आज का अभी का जो सिचुएशन है, अभी कोडिंग्स करने के लिए भी ऐप आ गया है. आपको अलग से पाइथन, जावा ये सब सीखने की जरूरत नहीं है. ऐप आ गया है. ओके, एक ऐप है जिस ऐप के माध्यम से, आई फॉरगॉट द नेम ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर ऐप, आप उस ऐप में जाके बताइए कि मुझे ये प्रोग्रामिंग्स आप दे दीजिए, वो पूरा आपको बना के दे दिया जाएगा. तो क्या हुआ?
चैट जीपीटी सर.
इट्स नॉट अबाउट द चैट जीपीटी बहुत पुराना हो गया यार. मैं अभी नया ऐप की बात कर रहा हूं, बहुत पीछे होता है. अब चैट जीपीटी के हाईएस्ट फॉर्म डीप सीक आ गया. डीप सीक से हाईएस्ट आ गया पेपर कॉल से आ गया क्विलबिट्स. आप कितना पीछे चले गए हो. चैट जीपीटी पुराना हो गया मेरे दोस्त. एडवांस लेवल में चला गया है. इतना जो मैंने नाम बताया ये सब दीज आर ऑल एडवांस लेवल. गामा आया है. आपको पावर पॉइंट प्रेजेंटेशन प्रिपेयर करने की जरूरत नहीं है. थ्रू इंस्टॉलेशन ऑफ गामा एआई ऐप यू कैन क्रिएट योर पावर पॉइंट प्रेजेंटेशन विद इन अ फ्रैक्शन ऑफ सेकंड्स. विद इन 5 to 6 सेकंड यूर इन ब्यूटीफुल प्रेजेंटेशन आपको बना के दे देगा गामा एआई. इतना सारा एडवांस लेवल चला गया. तो अभी एक जस्ट मैं इसे फॉलो बहुत करता हूं. तो अभी रिसेंटली एक ऐप आया है जहां पर आपको कोडिंग चाहिए ना, कोडिंग के लिए जरूरत नहीं है. आप उसमें लिख के दीजिए मुझे इस प्रोग्रामिंग के लिए, इसके लिए, इस एप्लीकेशन के लिए प्रोग्रामिंग चाहिए, पूरा प्रोग्रामिंग आपको लिख के बता देगा, आ जाएगा. तो अभी सबसे दिक्कत हो गया जो भी अभी सीएसई डिपार्टमेंट में कोडिंग्स वगैरह सीख रहा है, उसका नौकरी अभी खतरे में चला गया है। अभी उनको और अभी चैलेंजिंग हो गया फॉर सीएससी स्टूडेंट्स, फॉर एआईएमएल स्टूडेंट्स, जो भी अभी लिया है, भर्ती हुआ है, जो भी अभी एडमिशन लिया है, दे आर फाइंडिंग इट वेरी डिफिकल्ट, वेरी फाइंडिंग इट वेरी हार्ड टू गेट एनी कंपनीज, बिकॉज रिक्रूटमेंट प्रोसेस नाउ गेटिंग वेरी टफर एंड टफर। इन्फोसिस हो गया, डेल हो गया, जो भी जितने भी कंपनीज है, अच्छे अच्छे कंपनीज है, गूगल सन हो गया, दे आर हार्डली टेकिंग एनी एम्प्लॉयज बिकॉज वट एवर थ्रू दिस ऐप every works is been done, every works can be done. Okay, so these are the thing. Then the next one is promotion and transfer. If your company find that my this employee is far more better as compared to my other employees, you will be going to get promotions, you will going to get transferred, you will going to get appraisals, you will going to get increment, bonus, everything you will going to get. Thus the condition is one, you need to upgrade your skills. So this is called the स्टाफिंग। स्टाफिंग मीन्स, अगेन मैं बता देता हूं, रिकैप्चुलेट करता हूं पॉइंट्स को, राइट पीपल इन अ राइट जॉब फॉर अ राइट प्लेस, दैट इज कॉल्ड स्टाफिंग। एम आई क्लियर? एनी डाउट, एनी पॉइंट्स विच आई नीड टू एक्सप्लेन इट वंस मोर? डू यू फील इट?
No, sir. Fine.
Okay. Come to the next point then. Directing. कोई कोई डायरेक्टिंग पढ़ता है, डायरेक्टिंग। What does it mean? It means motivating, guiding, leading employees to achieve organizational goal. This is called directing. Now, what are the key points of this directing? Leadership. What does the leadership means? Influence the employees to work willingly. This is called the leadership skill. डरा धमका के नहीं, आप अपने स्किल ओरिएंटेड से मोटिवेट करके आप अपने काम निकालिए from the employees. That is why it is said that influencing the employees to work willingly. The next one is motivation. What does it mean? By providing incentive, by providing rewards, by providing appreciations, you can motivate the employees so that they will going to work far more better than your expectations. है ना? आप कभी किसी को शाबाशी देके देखिए, भाई आपने बहुत अच्छा काम किया है, आपको लग रहा है कि नहीं काम और थोड़ा बेहतर हो सकता है, लेकिन आपने इसको इतने अच्छे मोटिवेट कर दिए हो कि वो आपको और अच्छे से अच्छा काम आपको परफॉर्म करके देगा। एप्रिशिएट, बहुत सारे ऐसे एम्प्लॉइज है जिसको अप्रिशिएट नहीं किया जाता है, ठीक है, तो आप अगर उसे थोड़ा सा अप्रिशिएट कर दे, उसे थोड़ा सा इंसेंटिव आप दे दो, उसे थोड़ा सा मोटिवेट कर दो, वो आपके लिए और ज्यादा अच्छा काम, बेहतर काम करके देगा। दिस इज all the directing. Then the next one is, which is one of the most important step for today's management, is communication. Clear exchange of information. Communicare actually is a Latin word derived from the word communicare, which means transferring the messages, decoding the messages from one entity or group to another. That is the definition of a message, communication. But here it means exchanging the clear information. Look at the word clear, with clarity. ठीक है, अगर मैं होर्डिंग्स में लिखा रहेगा कि सेल, सेल लिखा हुआ होर्डिंग में, देखो मतलब कितना तरह के आता है, लिखा हुआ है सेल और उसमें दीपिका पादुकोण का फोटो दिया हुआ है और एक साबुन का ऐड दिया हुआ है, तो आपको क्या लगता है उस साबुन के साथ दीपिका पादुकोण फ्री है? Isn't it? Do you feel like that? This type of communication is called semantic gap. This type of communication is called semantic gap. SEMANTIC gap. What does it mean, semantic gap? जहां हमें दिखाया जा रहा है लेकिन मतलब कुछ और निकल रहा है. This is called semantic gap. Am I clear? This type of communication is called semantic gap. तो ये गैप एम्प्लॉयज के बीच में, सुपरवाइजर के बीच में, मैनेजमेंट के बीच में ऐसा होता है कि मैनेजमेंट कुछ समझाना कुछ और चाहता है, एम्प्लॉयज समझ कुछ और रहा है, या एम्प्लॉयज कुछ समझना चाहता है, मैनेजमेंट कुछ और समझ रहा है. दिस टाइप ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन इज कॉल्ड द सिमेंटिक गैप बिटवीन द कम्युनिकेशन. एम आई क्लियर? तो इसीलिए कम्युनिकेशन जो होना चाहिए विथ क्लियरिटी, विथ क्लियर एंड विथ क्लैरिटी ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन. This is called the communication. ये होता है directing. The next one is supervision. What does it mean? According to the standards according to the ethical values, ethical norms, according to the skills employee need to perform. You need to supervise them, you need to guide them, you need to motivate them so that they will going to give you more works. They will going to give you more works with superior quality. This is the work of the supervisions. Am I clear? So these are the four important points of directing. What are they? Number one is leadership. Number two is motivation. The third one is communication. And the last but not the least is supervisions. So what does the motivation means? Motivations mean leading the employees to lead to achieve the organizational goals. Leading the employees to achieve organizational goals. This is called directing. Any doubt?
Sir, could you please explain communication one more?
Communication, one more. Communication is derived from the Latin word communicare, which means exchanging the information, ideas, messages from one entity or group to other human beings. Communications are of different types: intrapersonal communication, interpersonal communication, extrapersonal communication, mass communications and media communication. These are the types of communication. What are the kinds of communication? Linguistics, paralinguistics, extralinguistics, verbal, non-verbal. These are kinds of communication. अभी ये समझाने के लिए जाऊंगा कल में तो बहुत बड़ा हो जाएगा. ठीक है. फर्क इतना होता है कि हमें बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स को काइंड और टाइप में फर्क नहीं पड़ता है, डिफरेंस नहीं पता है. टाइप और काइंड दोनों अलग अलग होता है, मतलब बिल्कुल अलग है. जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल, बाइसाइकिल इज वन ऑफ अ काइंड ऑफ अ ट्रांसपोर्टेशंस. बाइसाइकिल एक जरिया है, ट्रांसपोर्टेशंस का एक माध्यम है. दिस इज वन ऑफ अ काइंड ऑफ, sorry, what you can say, that is क्या मैं बोलूं सर, मैं भूल जा रहा हूं. वन काइंड ऑफ ट्रांसपोर्टेशन, मीडियम ऑफ ट्रांसपोर्टेशन. दिस इज वन काइंड, बाइसाइकिल. लेकिन डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ ट्रांसपोर्टेशन में, टाइप्स में अगर आ जाएगा तो जैसे कार, आप नैनो से भी कर सकते हो, आप एक्सयूवी 700 से जा सकते हो, फॉर्च्यूनर से जा सकते हो, महिंद्रा, Thar. These are different kinds of transportations. So, sorry, different types of transportation. So, kind of types में फर्क है, यही फर्क है. ठीक है. तो कम्युनिकेशन का मतलब समझ में आया. कम्युनिकेशन उसे कहा जाता है जहां हम अपना मैसेज, अपना कुछ वक्तव्य एक इंसान या दूसरे इंसान से बात करते हैं. लेकिन मतलब एक सेटिस्फैक्टरी, एक इंटरेस्टिंग फैक्ट ये है कि कम्युनिकेशन सिर्फ और सिर्फ एक ही एंटिटी के बीच में नहीं होता, ह्यूमन एंटिटी के बीच में नहीं होता. कभी कभी क्या होता है, नॉन ह्यूमन एंटिटीज के बीच में कम्युनिकेशन होता है. दिस टाइप ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन आर कॉल्ड एक्स्ट्रा पर्सनल कम्युनिकेशन. व्हाट डज इट मीन? जब हम किसी अपने प्यारे पेट डॉग से बात करते हैं, पैरट से बात करते हैं, कोई भी ऐसा नॉन ह्यूमन एंटिटीज जैसे एनिमल्स से बात करते हैं, इस तरह का कम्युनिकेशंस को एक्स्ट्रा पर्सनल कम्युनिकेशंस कहा जाता है. वो अलग थिंग है. तो तन्मय यहां तक समझ में आया कम्युनिकेशन किसे कहते हैं?
Yes sir, yes sir.
अगर सिंपल में बताऊं तो क्लियर एक्सचेंज ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन. क्लियर एक्सचेंज ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन इज कॉल्ड कम्युनिकेशन.
Okay sir.
और कोई डाउट है? निरंजन,
मेरा एक क्वेश्चन है, दैट इज ऑन द हेडर पार्ट. फंक्शन ऑफ मैनेजमेंट के बाद ब्रैकेट में फेल लिखा हुआ है. लाइक ये इज अ पर्सन हु हैज गिवन दिस थ्योरी और समथिंग लाइक दैट?
yes, it is a person who has given this theory, Mr. Fayol. Fayol is a PhD doctorate holder on management, and apart from that, he is also a company. He is also a ex chief something. What you can director of some companies. He has given these theories. He has created some laws which are, we call it Fayol laws of management. Okay, so Fayol is a person who has created the laws on many laws on management. Is it clear?
Yes. Yeah, yes, sir.
Next, man. The next one is controlling. The controlling means the performance which are planned, performance which need to be performed, the performance which need to be performed from correcting deviations. What does it mean correcting deviation? Means proper standard of work. For example, क्लास में बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स हैं, लेकिन क्या क्लास में जितने सारे स्टूडेंट्स हैं, सपोज से फर्स्ट करो एक क्लास में 60 स्टूडेंट्स अलॉटेड है मैनेजमेंट पढ़ाई कर, आपको लगता है कि 60 स्टूडेंट्स आर और वेल एजुकेटेड, वेल क्वालिफाइड, दे हैव वेल परसेप्शंस? नहीं, हर एक अलग अलग है, हर एक का स्टैंडर्ड अलग अलग है. तो कंपनीज में जो भी प्रोडक्शन होता है उसका भी स्टैंडर्ड कभी कभी ऊपर नीचे होता है. कंपनी का पॉलिसीज, मैनेजमेंट का पॉलिसी ये रहता है, एक फ्रीक्वेंसी, एक पैरामीटर्स बांध दिया जाता है. जो भी एम्प्लॉयज काम कर रहा है, जो भी मशीनरी इक्विपमेंट्स रन कर रहा है, उनको ये हिदायत दिया जाता है, कम्युनिकेट किया जाता है कि आप यही पैरामीटर्स मेंटेन करके प्रोडक्शन कीजिएगा. क्यों? ताकि वो प्रोडक्शन का जो स्टैंडर्ड है वो मेंटेन रहे. दिस इज कॉल्ड सेटिंग स्टैंडर्ड और दिस इज कॉल्ड स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन. व्हाई? टू गेट द एक्चुअल परफॉर्मेंस, टू गेट द एक्चुअल परफॉर्मेंस. ब्रिटानिया कंपनी के बिस्किट्स जो कि कोन्नगोर, इट्स नॉट कोन्नगोर, काकीनाडा, you have listened the stream of Eastern Chobis Pargona, which is in Calcutta. From Shiaula, you need to catch local and go to Kakinada. Kakinada, there was one factory was there. It was established in 1968. The company name was Britannia, famous biscuit company. You know that. But the company ran in a very big loss. The company ran in a loss. Why? Because the productions was not up to date. The productions was not good. Though they are getting the raw materials, though they are financed by the governments and all, but still the production is not up to the mark. The employees fail to set the standard productions. That is why finally in the year 2019, the company collapsed. It's huge loss, company shut down. Okay, this is because of the standard parameters not set by the managements. Okay, that is why nowadays employees are need to be skilled. Employees are, every employees nowadays, in every month, every employees are being given training, special trainings. They are sent for special trainings and all. Why? Because the standard which has been set, according to that particular standard, employees had to work on that. Then only materials or the productions will going to improve and the management will going to achieve the desired goal which they are dreaming for that. Okay, that is why setting standard. Measuring the performance, another important thing. Measuring the performance of an employees will going to set the standard, that what type of skill oriented standard employees are working in my companies. Why? Because of the measurement of the productions, turnover, growth, which you can identify that the performance of my employees are par excellence or minimum standard. You can figure it out through this deviation process. Comparing with the standard, what I have said earlier, the same thing has been repeated here. Comparing the standard. Now, what are the standard of productions? Now you can find it out. If you eat in a biscuit, a Britannia biscuit in the era of 2002, now if you see the taste of the biscuit completely changed, not only in packaging but also everything has been completely changed. Okay, how and why? Because the company has taken the initiative, company has set the standard. Compared with the other companies, they have set a standard. Now this minimum quality of standard I had to maintain if I need to keep myself alive in the market. If I want to keep myself alive in the market, if I want to be in the competitions, I need to maintain my standards. Otherwise, I could fall down. I will going to fail in the for a long run. Taking corrective actions, another important steps for controlling. What is the taking corrective actions? If the company feel that the employees are not doing their duties diligently, if the productions and the minimum standard of production is not up to the level of the mark, then what will do? They will going to take some initiative. They will going to make some actions. They will going to initiate some plan. Okay, so that they will come out successfully by correcting this drawbacks. So these are the functions of a management in context controlling. Am I clear?
Yes,
Is
sir.
it clear?
So one question here on the measuring performance. So you have mentioned that in an organization it is important to measure the performance of the employee to track their performance record and everything. So my question here is, what are the index or what are the parameters on basis of which they measure the performance?
What are the index?
Yes, or the parameters like is it mainly on the work or something else, like apart from the work also?
Mainly apart from the work, mainly on apart from the mainly on the work only, mainly on company will never ever going to interfere whatever you are doing and all. They only interfere the performance, whether you are performing your responsibilities diligently or not. They will going to measure on that. If the company feel the productions is now getting lower and lower, the minimum standard is not being maintained, my market reputation is completely ruined, the company definitely going to blame the employees. The company set the minimum standard, the minimum standard, and whatever you have said, the index is the growth rate. The minimum index is the growth rate. Whether my company is growing, my turnover is growing, my success rate is growing, my raw materials are growing or not, my raw materials are growing or not. These are the index through which they can measure the standard, the performance of an employee. Apart from there is no other way. Whether you are on time or not, every employee will going to come on time, because they know after all at the end of the 30th of the month I need to have my salary. So I will, my punch time is 9 a.m. I have to come in my 9 a.m. So how can employees, how the management will going to judge whether the employees is doing or performing their responsibility perfectly or not? So this is the performance. If the turnover is going upward, if the performance rate of ratio is going higher, if the raw materials is going higher, if the after the raw materials, whatever the finished product is catching the market, if I am higher extent in the market, then automatically they feel it out, they find it out, they figure it out that my employees are skilled employees and they are performing their responsibilities perfectly. So these are the index I see through which they can justify whether the employees are doing their duties and responsibilities or not. Isn't it?
Yes, sir. Got it.
Okay. Now, a lot of questions you have asked. Today, I will going for 5 minutes. I will going to ask you one or two questions.
Sure.
To Nilanjan, what
Yes, sir.
is the definition of management? Don't give any bookish definition. Don't give any bookish definition. I am not going to accept the bookish definition. What is management in simple words? Tell me. Your time start now. Without scrolling your phone and all, keep your phone down and ask. Tell me, what is the management? Definition of a management.
So, sir, in simple word, if I say, then in management means getting things done by others. So here, like
What does I have never asked you the management in simple word.
okay.
Tell me what is management. Simple word. मैंने कल क्या आपको एग्जांपल दिया? सिंपल वर्ड में कुछ मैनेजमेंट होता है क्या? मैंने घर का भी आपको एग्जांपल दिया, मैंने बाहर का एग्जांपल दिया, घर का एग्जांपल उठा के दिया, तो